4 million more males than females, and it was literally more than the entire population of Malaysia. This situation was made because of the effect of China's official one-child policy, as millions of couples were determined that their child should be a son. If parents were allowed to choose their baby's gender, this situation will be more and more serious. And the other example, India, a country that has a deeply held preference for sons and male heirs, has an excess of 37 million males upon 1.3 billion population. And the officials had attributed the occurrence of gender imbalance because of the advance of sex selection technology. Thus, gender selection will only worsen the problem of gender imbalance. And about the second speaker had also mentioned about that parents have freedom of choice to choose what family they want. But yes, freedom of choice is a good principle, but I want to ask the government team, as children are not counted as human, why the children doesn't have rights to decide what they want to be? If parents were allowed to choose their baby's gender, it was not fair for their child. And
P.Y.
Yes.
This right states that only human beings of adult age have the freedom of choice. So below 18, you do not have all of the rights of the freedom of choice.
But if the children was grown up, if they didn't think that, how fair is parents want to decide their gender? And so, children as a human also have rights to decide what they want to be individually. And that was end of my rebuttals. Me as the opposition team strongly agree that parents should be not allowed to choose their baby's gender. Thank you.
Thank you. The first speaker of the opposition team has spoken for 4 minutes and 8 seconds. The first, second, and third speakers from the government team and opposition team have delivered their speeches. Before the both teams deliver the reply speech, each team will be given 2 minutes to discuss. Start now. Speech. After the speaker has spoken for 2 minutes, the bell will ring like this. And after the speaker for 4 minutes, the bell will ring twice. The speaker has to stop. Now is the time for reply speech. We will now invite the opposition to return his reply speech. Time given is 4 minutes. Please begin.
Thank you, timekeeper and thank you, the chairman and the timekeeper. Good afternoon to the judges, the members of the floor, and my opponent. I'm Hai Hong as the fourth speaker of the opposition team. Is going to sum up the debate for today. We stand with the opposition team saying that gender selection should not be allowed for the parents. Because the government team has agreed that because of the medical reasons, human rights, and forming a happier family. Based on what the government team has said just now, our team strongly disagree with it. Our team think that living in parents choosing the baby's gender will cause the babies living under their parents' expectation. If the parents are allowed to choose their baby's gender, it will violate the Cantonism because babies have no freedom to live in their own life. Besides, our team also agree that it will cause the gender inequality because it will make this concept become worsened. The last is the IVF risk. Although it seems to be a perfect and safe process, it does have its risks. Many of you may not know because it has promoted in a perfect way. It does bring harm to us, like cramping blood in urine, but the worst part is multiple pregnancies. HGA Director Dr. David King has said that the creation of new life is the most morally serious thing you can do. We must not let it become just another consumer choice. I would like to say that if you are not prepared to accept and parent either a boy or a girl, you should not be a parent. Babies are a gift from God. No matter it is a boy or a girl, you should give your fully respectation and caring. Remember, children represent the future. Your responsibility as parents are just to encourage, support, and guide them. Don't let them become your dependent. Last, we, the opposition team, strongly believe that parents should not be allowed to choose their baby's gender. Thank you.
Thank you. The reply speaker of the opposition team has spoken for 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Now, let's invite the government team to present the reply speech. Time given is also 4 minutes. Please begin.
Thank you, Chairperson and Timekeeper. A very good afternoon to the honorable judges, members of the floor, and of course, my the opponents. As the reply speaker of the government side, I'll be clarifying 3 main points for both sides. I think both teams did good, but we did better. Meanwhile, proving to the members of the floor why they have weak points and why we were weak. Without further ado, I'll start my speech by restating our team's points. As for the first point, we allow parents to choose their baby's gender because it can prevent genetic diseases. As my first speaker had mentioned, inherited disease occurs mainly in males. So parents will have the choice to choose female in order to prevent these genetic diseases, which majority are incurable. Then about our second point, we allow gender selection because of freedom of choice of parents. Like what my second speaker had said, the parents have the right of freedom of choice to choose their baby's gender. Now, since everyone have this right, the decision is also harmless. Why shouldn't we allow family to choose the baby's gender to their preferred sex? Because it's also harmless, right? Moving to our third point, which is family happiness. As my second speaker had mentioned, some families suffer from the consequences of inherited diseases that can be prevented by simply allowing the parents to make the choice of choosing their children's gender. In some cases, they are female, in some cases, they are male. Furthermore, I'll be restating the opposition's point and our rebuttals to it. The first point of the opposition is the child would be living in expectation of their parents. But our rebuttal to it is natural-born babies will also live in the expectation of their parents. There are no proof that if we choose the baby gender, then the parents will have no expectation to them, right? Then second point, if parents are allowed to choose their baby gender, it will cause gender imbalance. The opposition team has been avoiding countries like the UK and Germany, where majority the daughter inherits the rest of the business. They are always talking about China only. Then the third point is the IVF process risk. there's a clash with this point, with our point. Both of us are also talking about the medical reasons, but we are the clear winner of this clash. Let me explain. They have failed to give an alternative solution for inherited diseases. IVF can use to solve inherited diseases, while the opposition team has stated that there are health risks for the mother going through IVF. But our team said that the parents have done their research and are willing to face the health risks for the sake of their children. So the clash, we are the obvious winner of this clash. Finally, we the government team strongly agree to today's motion, which allow the parents to choose their baby's gender. Thank you.
Thank you. The reply figure of the government team has spoken for 3 minutes and 9 seconds. We have now come to the end of this debate. Please endure for our educators to make a decision. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Now, the educators will give both of the teams some comments. First, let's invite Ms. Elaine to give comments.
So good afternoon. So overall, it's a very good debate for both teams because I see both of you have prepared the points, the rebuttals, the POIs, everything is on point. But I want to point out something that means, first is the confusion of terms. Because just now the opposition team mentioned about 2 things. One is gender imbalance and one is gender inequality, and both of these is not the same thing. Gender imbalance means by the number. That means maybe there's more in male and less in female. But gender inequality means like your level, your standards. That means maybe the man has more superiority compared to the women. That means they can inherit the business, only the men, or they can have their own career. This is gender inequality. So it is different things, but don't mess up with it. That means you have to be clear of what you're saying and what terms are you using. And avoid contradiction. Because for the government team, the second speaker you mentioned about the freedom of choice is not causing harm, right? But the third speaker mentioned about ovarian cancer.
No. I mentioned it's not causing harm.
Not
to
causing
others.
harm to others. That means it's okay to cause harm to yourself.
Yeah, you have the right to choose.
Okay. So, okay, then that's fine. And I like how the reply speaker for the government team, he mentioned about how opposition didn't give an alternative. That means they only mentioned about the setbacks of choosing the baby's gender, but they did not provide an alternative to this solution, and I like that a lot. So overall, it's a very good debate. So I'll let our chief adjudicator to announce the results. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to give comment?
Yeah, mostly I agree with her with the confusion of the words, okay, the terms, okay, terminology about the inequality and then the imbalance, okay, that's the thing. And then overall, yeah, both these you are very good, okay, you are excellent. That's all for my comments.
Now, the chief educator, Ms. Jojo, will announce the winning team and the best speaker.
Okay, the winner of this is the government. And then the best speaker from government team as well with some chief.
I would like to officially announce the opposition team as the winner for this round. Congratulations, this is the end of this round's debate. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you.